Hello and welcome everyone to our Maxis live broadcast. Today we have a really exciting show for you full of live gameplay, giveaways, and announcements for both The Sims and SimCity. On top of that, we've invited some very special guests here today representing our fan community. We've got Curtis Parody from The Sims and two special people behind Simtropolis, one of our long-standing SimCity 4 modding sites, Dat and Ann. These guys are going to come on stage and they're actually going to represent your questions, talking to the dev team directly with some of the Q&A that you have given to us. So without further ado, I'm going to announce Ryan Vaughn, one of our lead producers from the Sims studio, to share with you all the news about The Sims.
Thanks,
Welcome,
Lucy.
Ryan.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone watching throughout the world. Today, we're really excited to be here to share with you all of the upcoming products from The Sims and from SimCity. But first, I want to let you guys know about a few of the really cool interactive social features that are going on right now. Just below your window, you can check out the Cover It Live box where you can ask us questions about anything you see throughout the show. In fact, we even have a special part of the show where we're going to try and answer as many questions as possible. So make sure to get your questions out there in the Cover It Live box. Secondly, for all you people on Twitter, we have a special hashtag for you to use. It's hashtag MaxisLB. Now, every tweet that uses this hashtag could be randomly selected to win a special prize from our community team. But that's not all. Make sure to watch your screen closely. We're going to be popping up special keywords that will eventually form a sentence throughout the entire broadcast. Once you have this complete sentence, tweet it using the MaxisLB hashtag, and you could be eligible to be randomly selected to win a very special grab bag full of all kinds of amazing Sims and SimCity content. It's really cool, and we hope you guys are up on there tweeting and asking your questions. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get started with the show here. Over the last year, The Sims has put out tons of new content, from really cool expansion packs and stuff packs to weekly content updates on The Sims Social, as well as one of the highest downloaded apps, The Sims Free Play on the App Store. Now, with all of these new experiences and new ways to play The Sims 3 and other Sims titles, we feel like we have a way to play Sims for everyone. Most recently, we released The Sims 3 Supernatural, one of our biggest expansion packs that gives players the ability to play as vampires, witches, werewolves, and fairies. So there's lots of new ways to play the game and lots of new stories for you to tell. The pack also came with Moonlight Falls, a big new world for you guys to play in. Now, today we have a new demo from The Sims 3 Seasons, our latest expansion pack, which is due out this November. We've in fact decided to put the demo inside the world of Moonlight Falls to give you guys an experience of how weather feels outside of Sunset Valley. This pack features brand new amazing weather effects that work in any world with any content from any expansion pack. So it's really big, filled with tons of new experiences. Today I have Graham and Mike up here who are going to take us through the demo of The Sims 3 Seasons and show off how it's looking. Take it away, guys.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. And it's great to be back on another live broadcast. Really cool to be here today, especially because we have such a unique demo to show off. So, like Ryan mentioned, it's not only The Sims 3 Seasons that you're going to see today, but for the first time ever on a live broadcast, we're going to show how The Sims 3 Seasons works with another expansion pack installed. So you can see right now we're in the recently released town of Moonlight Falls, and you start to get a look at how weather is going to impact that world. It's just sunrise in the town, and it's very foggy. This thick fog settled in overnight, and you're just starting to get a look at what that's going to feel like in-game.
So that fog looks really good in Moonlight Falls.
Yeah, totally. And like Ryan was mentioning, it's going to come to every single world that you play in, right?
Yeah, correct. The team worked really hard to make sure that Seasons works with all home worlds and previously shipped expansion packs, as well as worlds that you can buy from the Sims 3 store.
Now, one of the things that's cool is, I checked the weather forecast yesterday, and while it's foggy right now, I know it's going to clear up in just a couple of hours and give us a nice, bright, sunshiny day. But one of the things you're starting to see as the sun comes up here is it's actually autumn in Moonlight Falls. So you're seeing these vibrant oranges and reds on the trees throughout the town because they're starting to shed their leaves.
Right, you could tell over here we have some trees that aren't losing their leaves. These are deciduous trees? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
right.
we're making a really realistic weather simulation here. So not only do you have the deciduous trees that lose their leaves, but you have these evergreens as well. So it's going to be very realistic when you actually play through the game. Now, I want to introduce you to my sim family. And when I saw this house in Moonlight Falls, I just fell in love with it. And it was actually occupied by the Ivy family, but I had to kick them out and take it for myself. It's just too cool. With all those nice like purples and blues and green pastels, it's perfect for the spring.
Yeah, I mean, for this party, all that color is going to be perfect.
Yeah, so I invited a bunch of my friends and neighbors over this morning, and what are they doing there, Mike?
Looks like over here we have a feast party. It's one of the four new, it's one of the new party types that we've added to the Sims 3 Seasons, where your guests will actually arrive bringing their favorite plate of food to share with everyone. The host is going to come in, and as you can tell over here, it looks like the host has already started, called everybody to grab a plate. Everyone's going to grab a plate and have a great time.
Yeah, and it's really cool because, like you mentioned, everybody brings their own food, so it's kind of a fun potluck. So it looks like we've got some pumpkin pie, which is new this season, some mac and cheese, a stuffed turkey, some cookies, even dim sum. That's a good feast going on right there.
That's usually what I bring to feast parties.
But poor Amber, it's all filled with adults here, and she wants to have a little fun of her own. So we're going to send her out into the backyard to play. And maybe Grandma will go out there and watch her as well. And over here in the corner, I've got Susan and Dennis, and they've been working hard out here because, like we mentioned, all those leaves, they're going to start falling off the trees and collecting in your yard. So you can see how they've piled up all over the place.
Yeah, this actually happens gradually, as you see over here. I mean, just tons of leaves on the ground. You want to clean it up, so you're going to have the opportunity to sit there and rake them up, create leaf piles. You can tell over here on the lot, we have plenty of piles of leaves.
Yeah, and like I said, they've been working hard, so they built up their own big leaf pile. And fortunately, it's hidden away from the bushes there because
nice secluded corner.
They're going to have a little fall fun of their own.
Look at that.
The leaf pile is one of our new woohoo spots, just one of the new ones in season. So Sims have a lot of fun with that.
Oh, looks like they're having a great time in there.
Let's give them a little privacy and see what Amber's up to. Now, she's changed into her bee costume, and she's, trying to talk with the bees there, see what she can get up to.
That works out perfectly. So, yeah, the bee costume, as you see over here, that's part of the Origin exclusive pack. If you pre-order the Sims 3 Season through Origin, you'll receive the bee costume, as well as you could tell over here, our Sim on the diving boards and the nice full shark costume that you can use as an everyday outfit, as well as a swimsuit. So it's pretty awesome as you see her swimming around there in the shark costume.
Yeah, and these things are totally fun. Not only can you have, a good time with them in like everyday scenarios, but they're perfect for trick-or-treating as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the shark costume's awesome. I mean, we showed off the swimming in ocean before. When you see the shark swimming in the ocean, it's pretty awesome.
So one of the other things that I really liked about this house was it happens to be right next to the new festival in Moonlight Falls.
How convenient.
Now, festivals are brand new to the Sim series. We're really excited about them because they present an entirely new way to play that you've never seen before. So the really unique thing about them is that they'll change throughout the year. Now, in previous broadcasts, we showed off the festival in Sunset Valley. And you'll see here in Moonlight Falls, it's a completely different experience.
Correct, Graham. So what's really great to point out is since we are in Moonlight Falls, the festival has transformed our lot in the middle of the world into the festival. And what's really, really neat about it is you can tell in the far corner of there's expansion pack specific objects on the lot, such as in the far corner, we have the broom riding arena, which is specific to the Sims 3 Supernatural. So what you'll actually see is as each festival, all the festivals and all the different expansion packs will have unique elements to them specific to the pack.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, because it gives that unique feel to every single one, and it gives you different content to experience in all of them. And the other great things about the festivals is how they change throughout the year. So you're seeing the fall festival right now, but if you come back in the spring, the summer, the winter, there's going to be all new events, new objects, new activities to take part in. So lots of great content and reasons to keep coming back.
Right, here's one of the activities right here. One of our favorite activities, one of the eating contests. Looks like all the children in our festival lot decided to participate in.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is one of my absolute favorite objects. I love seeing them dig into the pies, and you can see they really get into it. They get that pie all over their face.
Oh, the pie face is the best.
You know, kids are competitive, so you got to try hard.
Yeah.
And I think one of the funniest things about the eating contest is when you win this thing, you've just devoured this big pie, but your reward is actually a week worth of all the pie you can eat, which, maybe it's great for the kids. I don't know if that's really what I want.
I don't know if I'll feel like a winner if I just scarf down whole pie, and then they're going to give me a pie because of how well I did.
And it looks like Will Hemio actually won the contest, so poor Amber didn't take home the prize this week, but her
what she
parents
does
will
get-
probably be happy about that.
Right, but you could talk about what else you do get. So for participating in festival contests, you do receive festival tickets, which you can spend in the concession stands. We'll go into detail in a little bit.
Yeah, and we've actually got an apple bobbing contest going on in here as well. Just another one of the fun activities on the festival, you know, a classic moment for fall. Oh, and it looked like Grandma won that one. She's
Look at that.
schooling the kids there.
Yeah, so I'm sure she received plenty of festival tickets to spend. So.
Yeah, and Rusty, he loves the festival, so he's been over here all week long. He's actually got 120 of those
Wow.
festival tickets saved up, and he can go over to the concession stands and actually cash those in for cool prizes. And just like everything else on the festival, it changes throughout the year, so you get different prizes that you can keep coming back and checking for and finding stuff that you want to purchase.
Correct. So, I mean, some of the things that are available using festival tickets isn't available in normal build buy. So, as you can see over here, we're going to purchase a face painting booth, and that's something that is in all the festival lots, but it's nice to have your own that you could place in your own home if you want to get your face painted, which is another thing that we have that is seasonal specific. There are face paints that are available for the fall. For example, for right here, you're going to be able to paint a pumpkin on your cheek. So,
So I just sent my Sims over to the lot that I put right next door to
All right.
the festival, and that's our Deep Chill Ice Lounge. Why don't you tell us a little bit
So
about
this
that,
is
Mike?
this is the exclusive content that's going to be available in the limited edition version of The Sims 3. For those who pre-order The Sims 3 Seasons, they're going to receive this ice venue. So let's go ahead and drill down inside there, and let's go check out the inside. What's really, really neat about this venue is you're going to see a bunch of unique ice furniture. It really gives a great look to this hangout.
Yeah, it's like 12 brand new objects, and not only can you use them at the Ice Lounge, but you can totally take them home, you know, decorate, create your own little ice palace with it. And it actually works throughout the year, so you can experience this anytime you want.
Right, they do not melt.
Now, maybe this place is a little more hip and upbeat, but my Sims are so happy that the slow dance is back in the Sims 3 Seasons. They bust those moves out any chance they get.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see over here in the Ice Lounge, looks like they're working it out here. It's you know, slow dance is something that our fans have really been excited about. They've been looking forward to. So you know, we wanted to deliver that. So you can tell over here our Sims are having a nice romantic dance in the middle of the Ice Lounge.
Now, jumping back to the festival for the moment, there's something I'm really excited to show off today. And fans have been asking for this. They've been kind of a long time part of the Sim series, and that's aliens.
Yeah.
And they're coming back to the Sims 3 Seasons in a really big way.
And we've been holding back. We've been wanting to talk about it.
Now, I've got two aliens in my household. This is Crypta, and I kind of invited her. I built an underground lair for the two of them so that they can kind of live in a little secrecy. But aliens, they're way different than the ones that you saw in Sims 2. They've got way more powers.
Correct.
So they have a lot of kind of mental telepathic things that they can do. So I just scanned that little child and I learned that she's evil.
Oh, evil child.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. We'll stay away from her. Maybe we'll play a little trick on Grandma instead, trying to probe her.
Ooh, the probe. Yeah, the classic probe. What's an alien without the ability to probe?
Yeah, you got to have all sorts of cool things for the aliens to do.
Let's see how this turns out. Oh,
It's pretty terrifying, but I think we'll take it easy on Grandma.
looks like she's just going to be tickled.
We'll do a little tickle instead. We don't want to give her too hard of the time. And one of the nice things about the aliens, you know, they've advanced as they've evolved throughout their lives, and they no longer need energy. They
Right.
don't have to go to sleep at night. But they have a new brain power motive instead because their brain really lets them interact with the world in a lot of ways. So as part of that, I can drain or boost other Sims around town. So when I start this telepathic link with them, it's draining his motives over time and slowly boosting me so that I can just keep going as long as I want to on my alien.
Let's see what we can do with that rock over there.
Yeah, so aliens have lots of abilities not only with Sims, but with different objects around the world or at home. So Crypta's actually trying to transmute this topaz and upgrade it. So maybe it can be instilled with more value, or we can entirely change its geological composition and make it into something completely different. Let's see if she can succeed here.
She does.
And she did succeed.
Yes,
Pretty good.
look at that.
Got some nice value there.
Get you an extra 14 simoleons.
But hey, Mike, I gotta say, aliens are cool and all, but what would they be without a UFO to ride around?
I mean,
in?
how are they going to get around town? They're not going to
Exactly.
use a car.
Right, but for our aliens, a UFO isn't just a mode of transportation. It has a lot of really cool abilities that it unlocks in combination with the aliens.
Right, we wanted to make sure that there's some unique gameplay abilities that you have with the UFO. It's not just any other vehicle that we've added into the game, so I guess that's what we're going to show you right now.
Absolutely, let's get an alien invasion going on the festival. So she's going to hover up in the sky here, and you'll see the other Sims down on the lot. Let's see if we can find some. You know, they're staring up in the sky. They've never seen a UFO before. It's a pretty amazing event in the Sims life. And you're going to see a lot of Sims around town start to show up. They really want to see what's going on. But for Crypto, she's actually started the attack. She's firing lasers.
This is
and you're going to see all the Sims down there. They start running around and panicking and just screaming in terror. And it's a great moment for the Sims, and I love the sci-fi element of it.
Right, it's a great way to see how fast your Sims can actually scram and freak out.
Now, Crypto's aim's not too good there. She's missing most of the Sims. Let's see if we can actually get her.
Yeah.
She's going to attack that.
Oh, there, she's in the middle of the square.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to get burned here. Oh, I think we just got
we got a few people.
Let's see if he got burned. That's my favorite reaction. Oh, there we go. She got it. She got it good. Now, let's jump over to my other alien. Now, this is Crypto, and he's got a UFO as well. And what would aliens be if they couldn't abduct people, right?
Yeah, alien, abduct.
Absolutely. So, let's try and get Branch Church here. Let's see if we can actually sneak and snag him out of his house.
Right, so abduction is, definitely one of the fun new elements with the UFO. You're going to, let's see where it heads up here.
Let's see if we can grab him.
Well, she's going to go to the other side of the lot.
And it looks like he wasn't actually home, so maybe I can try with Crypto instead and see if she's able to get somebody as our alien invasion or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things that can happen when you abduct Sims. So we'll see if anything special happens over here.
Let's try and get Doreen Caliente instead.
Okay, looks like she's nearby.
She's kind of a homebody. So
Okay. Is that how it works, Graham? If you're a homebody, you're likely to get abducted?
well, that's where you like to do the abductions, right? You know, kind of in the privacy of the home where you can't really have other Sims seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
So you'll see these sparkling lights in the sky, and that's how we draw Sims out of their home.
Right.
Kind of give them something to check out that's mysterious. And then the UFO suddenly appears and the tractor beam. There's no escaping that.
Yeah, she's done.
And nobody knows quite what happens during an abduction, but I'm pretty sure Doreen will be back safe and sound in a couple of hours. And so you've seen a lot of really cool stuff with the Sims 3 seasons today. Obviously, we're very excited about the dramatic weather effects, and the aliens are going to blow your mind. But we're not done. We have one more really cool thing to reveal today. So I'm going to kick it back over to Ryan, who's going to show that for us.
Thanks, guys. That demo is looking awesome. So many funny moments there to take part of in the Sims 3 seasons. And if woohoo and leaf piles, crazy shark costumes, and alien abductions aren't enough, we've saved something special for right now. Today, we're revealing for the first time ever, we've decided to tie 2 expansion packs together in a brand new way. We're calling it the Weatherstone. This is a brand new hidden magical object that is available if you have both the Sims 3 Supernatural and the Sims 3 Seasons installed. Your Supernatural Sims from the Sims 3 Supernatural will be able to interact with the Weatherstone and summon its powers to life. Vampires, witches, werewolves, and fairies will be able to all interact with it and summon completely new weather types that cover and take advantage of your whole entire town. So there's brand new weather that you couldn't have any other way available through the Weatherstone. So you need to have Supernatural and Seasons installed, and your Supernatural Sims are going to be able to cause this amazing new weather. I'm going to hand it back over to Graham and Mike, who are going to take you through just what one of the new weather types looks like with the Weatherstone. Take it away, guys.
So yeah, let's see how this Weatherstone actually works in action. And we've got Rusty, and we brought him over to the Weatherstone. It looks like he was actually one of the victims of the alien invasion, the poor guy. But maybe we can get him cheered up here by actually using the Weatherstone.
Right, and he has a little secret here. He is a werewolf,
That's true.
isn't he,
So
Graham?
my Maple family, when they moved into Moonlight Falls, Those they didn't realize it was packed with these supernatural creatures, and this poor guy got bitten by a werewolf, so now he's a teen wolf and trying to get through life as that. But let's see what happens here as he uses the Weather Stone.
Looks like he's going to summon it. So to add to it, so the Weather Stone, when you have both packs installed, what'll happen is it'll appear somewhere in your world. That's a random place in your world. It'll actually show up. There's a nice little map tag for it, so in case you can't find it, it'll be easy to find. You can send your supernaturals there to try to summon one of the great powers that it has.
And let's see if we can actually successfully summon the Thunderstorm, and that's the unique one for the werewolves.
Right.
And like Ryan mentioned, there's different effects for each of the supernatural creatures that came with the Sims 3
Right, and it looks like we're successful over here. And success does success counts on how many supernaturals you have summoning the stone. So if you have more than one, it does increase your chances.
So the really nice thing with the Thunderstorm for the werewolves, you know, they're great at finding collectibles around the world. So not only is it going to increase their chances of finding some of those rare things when they go hunting, but it's actually going to spawn a bunch of rare ones right around the Weatherstone for you.
Yeah, we wanted to help them out, so we decided to just drop a few around the stone for them to grab.
And you can see one of those dramatic weather effects that he actually brought into the world. And even though it's still autumn, we have a deep, heavy snowstorm occurring in the world thanks to the power of the Weatherstone. So really cool stuff, and you're seeing just how it's going to impact some of those different worlds throughout The Sims 3.
Right, Moonlight Falls looks awesome with snow.
So thanks for checking it out today, and I'm going to send it back to Ryan again.
Thanks, guys. That is looking epic. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with the Weatherstone when you get it this November. Now remember, you have to have both the Sims 3 Supernatural and the Sims 3 Seasons installed to take advantage of this awesome new feature. It's really cool, and it provides a bunch of new gameplay experiences for your Sims. All right, let's move on. Now we have a very special segment for you guys, and below I hope you've been asking your questions in the Cover It Live box because we're going to get an opportunity to answer them. I'm going to invite Curtis Parody on stage, one of our top creators in the Sims 3 community, who's here to represent you guys and represent your questions. So welcome, Curtis. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So Curtis has been collecting your guys' questions over the last week, and he's been reviewing a lot of the questions that have been coming in on the live feed today. And I'm here with a couple other Sims developers who are going to give you a chance to ask your questions, and we're going to answer them the best we can. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Be nice to us now.
I'll try to, of course. Okay, so before we really get into all of this, can we go down the line here and just explain what each of you do and give a little introduction as well?
Sure thing. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Ryan Vaughn, lead producer of The Sims 3.
Hey Simmers, I'm Sarah Holding, and I work on a variety of content on the Sims 3 store, including new worlds like Sunlit Tides.
And I'm Ben Bell. I'm the executive producer of The Sims 3.
Great, so going into the very first question here, what can you tell me about the blueprint mode in Seasons?
Oh, I got a bunch to tell you about that. I'm glad you asked. So the new Blueprint mode is a feature that's specific to the Sims 3 Seasons, but it's also going to be available on the Carry Forward patch. So anybody that downloads the patch when the Sims 3 Seasons is released is going to get this new feature. And it's really cool because you're going to be able to place down pre-built and fully furnished rooms with the snap of your fingers. It's amazing because you have this whole room, living rooms, kitchens, anything that you're going to be able to place down on the ground. It's really great, and you're going to be able to build up rooms really quickly. Now, I know a lot of you guys are very experienced creators with build buy mode, which means you're going to be able to place these down really quickly and then edit anything about these rooms. So it's going to allow you to get into a lot of the deeper parts of the game quickly. But it also works for a lot of developers, or a lot of players, excuse me, that aren't as in tune with the advanced controls. It's going to allow them to get into the game really quickly, place down a bunch of rooms to get playing fast. So it's a new feature that I'm really excited about.
It sounds like it'll be a really good feature, especially for people just starting off in the game, or even for like myself, it'll be great to just plop down this building and then be able to actually edit it to the way that I'd like it as well.
Yep.
So now going more, we kind of talked about the aliens a little bit in the demo. Ben, can you elaborate? What happens exactly when our Sims get abducted? Will it be like in the old expansion packs? Will they come back a little pregnant?
Well, thanks for asking. I think that the aliens are a lot of fun. I'm really excited about playing with them. Yes, when your Sims are abducted, they'll come back pregnant, and this is true for men and for women. I don't really know exactly how it works, but we can all speculate.
Male pregnancy, a staple, The Sims
In
3.
The Sims. Well, I guess we'll all just have to wait until the game comes out for us to all experience that. So now, Sarah, you work with the Sims store. What can you tell me about with the Sims 3 being installed and with the new Sunlit Tides town that came out recently? Can you talk about adventuring out and exploring the different islands that are available in the town?
Sure. Well, with seasons, everyone is going to get swimming. So in Sunlit Tides, you'll be able to swim out to some of the islands that previously were not accessible. We have some awesome collectible spawners out there, so you'll be able to find some really neat things if you go out there. And also, you'll be able to swim across the lagoon from one point of Sunlit Tides to the other, which I think will be really fun.
Sounds like it'll be really good. People who already, of course, have that town will really enjoy going out and adventuring and finding those different collectibles as well. So now back to you, Ryan. What are the new festivals that come with seasons? Can you explain each one a little bit?
Totally, yeah. Festivals are really cool because there's a unique festival for each season, for each world that you can actually play in. So if you're playing in Moonlight Falls in the winter, you're going to have a unique festival lot. If you're playing in Twinbrook in the winter, you're going to have a unique festival lot. And they're different for each season as well. And they come with tons of new content on them. So depending on the season, depending on the world, you're going to have the ability to do a bunch of different things and celebrate the season in a very unique way.
That's really cool. So now talking about these different things that are in each season, Ben, what about the sports? Will there be new sports in the Sims 3 seasons?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so sports are a big part of how we enjoy different times of the year. In the Sims 3 seasons, you get to play with football. In America, we call it soccer, but I know around the world everybody else calls it by its proper name. And then also, your Sims can learn how to snowboard. They do it on a half pipe, and there's all kinds of new tricks they can learn. It's a skill they can build up. And then there's a couple of other sports activities they can do outside, like skating on the rink and so on. So it's a lot of fun, and I really feel like there's fun for all those different seasons.
It's going to be great. It's going to add a lot to the game. Like, that's definitely going to be fun. Yeah, each season will have a different sport that you can kind of play around with as well. So that'll be great, and I'm sure fans will really like that. So now, can we talk about the thunderstorms in the game? Are our Sims going to have to be worried about this? Are they possibly going to die?
They're dangerous. The weather is very powerful, and it can affect your Sims in a bunch of different ways. Specifically, the thunderstorms, you got to watch out for lightning because you never know when you could be struck. So those are definitely quite scary and could be very, very dangerous for your Sims. Weather has a bunch of other effects too, like in the deep dead of winter. Your Sims go outside without any protective clothing. They could be frozen solid at a moment's notice. So you got to look out for the weather. It's out there, but you can successfully prevent a lot of the stuff as well.
Well, that's going to be a problem. I'll have to obviously make sure all my Sims have the proper attire before they head out.
Indeed.
Now, we're going to actually take a question from Cover It Live. Here we have one from username Nan Donalt. I'm sorry, I'm probably bad at pronouncing that. But your question is, how will festivals work with custom content / store worlds?
That's a great question. We actually have festival lots built for the store world, so they're going to be available there. But the festival lots are editable by you as well, so you can go in there, go into Edit Town, and change the lots too, and add in content that you've downloaded and stuff that you put into your game. So just like almost anything in the Sims game, they're really interactive, and you can control the experience.
That'll be great. So now, some fans have been asking, should we expect to see more expansion pack and stuff packs beyond the Sims 3 seasons? Maybe, Ben, you can talk about this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for asking that question. You know, we love what we do, and you know, I can't say much, but what I can tell you is there are a lot more exciting things to come, and we're really excited to tell you about those things. But let's talk more about seasons.
Okay. Thought I'd sneak that in there. Just maybe you'd say something, maybe you wouldn't. Now, about seasons, it's summertime. Well, it's the end of summer. I guess it's fall now. But do our Sims have to worry about getting tans? Will they be burnt?
Oh yeah, you got to look out for the sun. But you also have to look out for the tanning booth too. This is a brand new object in game, and you can send your Sims in there to get a tan, but look out for the failures because sometimes your Sim might come out looking more like a zebra than a Sim. So look out for the sun and make sure you're fully committed to your tanning booth experience before you head in there.
Now, talking more like the tanning booth object and about other objects, Sarah, you, of course, working with the Sims 3 store, what's your favorite object that you guys have released so far?
Oh, wow. We've released a lot of really awesome content. I think my favorite that's come out recently is going to be the ice cream maker and the deep fryer. I love to cook with my Sims. I have many Sims in the culinary career. And not only do these offer a whole bunch of new recipes, but if you have both of them, you can make deep fried ice cream. And I don't know about you guys, but deep fried ice cream is probably one of my favorite things. It's awesome. Yeah, one of the best foods in the world by far.
Deep fried ice cream. That's very interesting, yes. So again, ice cream playing off sort of the ice thing. What about the Polar Bear Club? We have that coming up. Are our Sims just going to head down to the ocean and just take a dive, or do they join kind of a group? How does this work?
Sims can go swimming in the ocean, which is brand new to The Sims 3. They can go as a group or by themselves. But if you go in the dead of winter, in the cold, your Sims could pick up the Polar Bear Club Moodlet. And this is not just a moodlet that gives your Sim a mood boost, but it actually prevents them from being negatively affected by the cold. So as I mentioned earlier, in the dead of winter, Sims might become frozen solid. But if they've gone and done this Polar Bear Club swim, they can actually be protected from that really, really deep frost. So going out and swimming in the ocean in the middle of winter can be really beneficial for your Sims.
Is it scientifically accurate?
Scientifically accurate, exactly. Polar Bear Club.
Polar Bear Club. Well, that's cool. It's cool to see that for the Sims, and plus it benefits their life, I guess, in the long run. So that's really cool as well. Now we're going to take a question from you guys out on Twitter. This comes from Christina Uberzo, I believe. Will there be any new plants and such that only come during specific seasons?
That's a great question, and we actually do take care of our plants during the winter. They become frosted, and you're going to need to watch out during the extremes of weather. You can bring them inside in some of the potted plants, or put them maybe in a greenhouse where you can make sure that they're not getting too affected by the weather. But with these plants, we also have a bunch of new food types. I know Graham and Mike showed some in the demo earlier, and there's lots of new fun foods for your Sims to eat. Everything from apple pie to those big old turkey thighs that you saw on the table. So lots of fun plants and foods for your Sims to experience.
That sounds like it'll be really great, especially for the people that like to collect or do the planting in the game. Now, we've seen a little bit of the diving board. This, of course, making a big return to the game. Ben, maybe you can elaborate on the different things that you can do now with the diving board.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, the diving board is one of those objects that Sims fans really love. The diving board is another skill that you can build, and your Sims will get better on it. If they do pack on those holiday pounds after all that great holiday food, they'll make a bigger splash when they do a cannonball, and then there's all kinds of tricks they can learn to do on the diving board. So we're really excited about that coming out.
Yeah, it'll be great to have it back in the game. I know I've been missing it for a while, so I can't wait to see my Sims do cannonballs and dive into the water there. Now, talking about, obviously, swimsuits for that, what about the other clothing that comes with seasons? Can you talk about that in the Create a Sim?
Totally, yeah. So not have we just added new clothing for the Sims 3 seasons, we've actually added a whole new clothing type, and that's called outerwear. We filled it up with a bunch of new jackets, snowboard outfits, snowboard pants, beanies, and a bunch of stuff to keep your Sims warm through the middle of winter, because it can get nasty out there with rain. We have umbrellas as well. But there's a whole new clothing type in cast, and your Sims will actually switch into this clothing if they go outside and notice that it's cold or raining or snowing, and the clothing will actually protect them from the elements. So it's an important part in the winter to make sure you're dressing appropriately.
Well, that's good. It's good to know that my Sims are smart enough to put on winter wear. Sometimes I'm not that smart either, though. Now we're going to head back out to Twitter. We have another question here from Kenneth Gotho. Comes to us saying, can you please tell us more about these special spring activities?
Sure. There's lots of new stuff to do in spring. I think my favorite is the kissing booth. It's a pretty awesome experience, and depending on your Sim's traits, whether they're a great kisser or a hopeless romantic, they're actually going to have different kissing types at the kissing booth. So they can go there and make out with the festival worker, or they can actually man the booth as well and get paid to make out with other Sims. There's also some great stuff with the egg hunts, and you saw some of the slow dancing happening in the demo. So lots of fun stuff to do during spring. Lots of fun stuff to do at the festivals for all seasons.
Well, that's going to be really great. I'm sure loads of people are going to be excited about that. Now, going back to the clothing here, what if it's summer and you wear your winter wear? Is that going to affect your Sim?
Well, so Sims are very in tune with their temperature and what the temperature is outside. And not only can they get so cold that they freeze solid, but they can get so hot that they just can't stand it. And clothing is going to have effect on that well. So you need to make sure that you're preparing your Sims for each season and dressing appropriately. Unless you're a little bit mischievous and you want to send your Sims out into the cold in just their skivvies. So definitely make sure you have appropriate preparedness for your wardrobes depending on each season.
Well, that's awesome. I want to thank you guys so much for, of course, having me here and answering all of the questions from all of the fans out there. Of course, it's going to be great. Now, fans, keep your eyes on the forums because there has been a Maxis live broadcast forum that's been opened up. So go and check that out because it's going to be great. It's going to be full of a bunch of really great stuff for all of you. So go and check that out. And of course, thanks to all of you for having me here and answering all of the questions. So now I'm going to direct it back over to Lucy for the remainder of this.
Curtis, thanks so much for being here and representing the Sims community, and to the entire Sims studio team for answering all the questions and showing the live demo. Now, we're going to be moving on to SimCity now, but Sims fans, please stick around because Ryan's going to be coming back up and sharing more information on the Sims with you. So, I'm not sure how many of you know this, but the Sims first came to life in SimCity. For the years that Maxis was making SimCity, the little people that lived in the streets, we referred to them as Sims. So when we did make a game all about little people, it just was obvious. We needed to name it The Sims. Now, SimCity is also about telling stories. You know, in fact, every little street corner, every intersection, and every neighborhood has a story behind it. And the way that we're bringing this to life in this new SimCity is through our new Glassbox simulation engine, because really, it's all about the sim. We've had a motto on the team: what you see is what we sim, and we're really taking that seriously. So, we're here to share with you all of what you can do and how your decisions are going to orchestrate the lives of your Sims and the evolution of your city. So to give you more detail on exactly how Glassbox works and all about this new SimCity, let me introduce Kip Katsarelis. He's one of the lead producers in the Emeryville studio working on SimCity, and he's going to give you all the dirt on this next SimCity.
Hey, thanks, Lucy. Hi, I'm Kip Katsarelis. Really excited to be here today to talk to you about SimCity. We have lots to show. First of all, we're going to show live software today for the first time. We're going to answer some of your questions from the community in our Q&A session, and we're also going to announce the Create a Sim winners. But first of all, what we want to do is show off a gameplay strategy video narrated by our very own lead designer, Stone Labrandy, where he's going to take you in and tell you a little bit about a city and what it's like to be a mayor. This video has actually created a lot of buzz and a lot of questions. So we're going to actually take those questions, we're going to load up Stone City afterwards in live software and answer some of your questions. One caveat that this is not final software, we still are in development, but let's go ahead and roll that gameplay video.
Hello, I'm Stone Labrandy, the lead designer on SimCity. I'm excited about this game, and I want to give you an early inside look and talk about what makes this SimCity special. The team is still hard at work, and the game is only going to get better as we get closer to the ship date. SimCity is a game about endless choices. Ultimately, you can do whatever you want. You can focus on growing your population, increasing your wealth, and even building a city that looks like your hometown. Whatever your motivation, you have the power to experiment with a number of different strategies. How you choose to play will influence your city, the neighboring cities, and the lives of all the Sims across the region. When you start a new game, you can pick any location in the region. One of the new ways to play SimCity is to specialize with a big business and give your city a unique role. If I wanted to build an industrial city, I might pick this area near the water so that I could have access to large cargo ships. But I'm a gambler and I want to build a casino city. So I'm going to start in this area because these train tracks will bring in more tourists. Before I can build casinos, I need to establish basic city infrastructure. The first step is to connect to the outside world. This is how construction trucks, moving vans, and tourists will enter my city. There are many different road sizes to choose from. I'm going to make the connection with a wide avenue because I expect a lot of traffic on this road. Off to the side, I'll draw a smaller 4-lane street for city infrastructure buildings. Over here, I'll draw another road for residential housing. In the zone palette, there are 3 different zone types: residential, commercial, and industrial. I'll start by zoning a residential area where I want my houses to appear. I just paint along the roads like this. The surveyors will prepare the lots and get everything ready for the construction trucks. The workmen arrive and start building houses. To speed things up, I'll be skipping ahead in time throughout the video. Here come my new Sims. Getting them into my town is easy. The trick is getting them to stay. All Sims need two things: money and happiness. I'll start with the money first. Sims need jobs in order to make money. A simple way to create jobs is to build some factories. Factories also generate tax revenue, which will help me pay my city's bills. I zone for industrial just like I did for residential. I'm only going to zone a small area here because I don't want too many factories. They're pretty dirty and they won't help me attract tourists. Every Sim in this game has a personal agenda. We can see what this Sim's up to by clicking on him and following him around. Looks like this guy's anxious to get to his new job. Oh good, looks like he found one. I also need to keep my Sims happy. Once they get their paychecks, they'll try to spend their hard-earned money to buy happiness. Unfortunately, my city doesn't have any stores yet. I'm going to fix that by placing some commercial zones along this main strip to make it easier for the Sims to shop on their way to and from work. I want to zone for a lot of commercial buildings. Not only can my Sims shop here, but the commercial buildings are also going to attract tourists, which will benefit the casinos I'm going to build later. You can see by this flashing red icon that the Sims are asking for electricity. If I don't give them power, the city can't function properly. I'm going to take care of that by placing a wind power plant right over here. Wind power is great for a small town. It's cheap, it's clean, but unfortunately, it doesn't generate a large amount of electricity. As my town grows, I might need to build a bigger power plant or make a deal with a neighboring city to get some power. As the sun goes down and the first day comes to an end, you can see the building lights coming on now. By turning on the electricity data layer, you can actually see the power flowing along the roads. As the buildings receive power, the Zots disappear one by one, and now my city's ready for the night. Okay, the sun has come up and I'm ready to start a new day. Today I'm going to work on more of the basic infrastructure that will keep my Sims healthy, happy, and productive. When my Sims need something, they don't keep it a secret. This flashing icon tells me that my buildings aren't getting any water. Let me take care of that now by placing a water tower. Before I do that, I need to see how much water is available. This data layer gives me an X-ray view of the water table. The darker the blue, the more water is available to pump. There's a large amount of water over here, so this is a perfect spot for me to place the water tower. All buildings must be placed along roads. I don't expect too much traffic out here, so I'm going to draw a cheap 2-lane road to the aquifer. The water flows along the roads just like power does. There's no need for me to construct a separate pipe network. Alright, looks like the water problem's solved. Whenever the Sims use water, they immediately convert it into sewage. In this view, you can see that the sewage is starting to build up in the pipes. If I don't take care of this problem soon, it's going to get converted into ground pollution, which creates sickness and lowers the land value. The quickest and cheapest way for me to deal with this problem is just to dump it all into a corner of the town and hope that my Sims don't notice. I'll draw a new road out into this forest and place my sewage pipe over here. Problem solved. In addition to sewage, Sims will also generate garbage. My town is still young, so I don't have a garbage problem yet. But since I'm already polluting this corner of my town, I might as well place my dump here too. It's important to make sure that you keep your garbage and sewage away from your water supply. If the ground pollution gets into the pipes, your entire city could get sick. Garbage trucks will drive around town, picking up garbage cans and dumpsters. When a truck gets full, it'll return to the dump and unload. Eventually, the dump is going to fill up, and then I'll either have to expand it or start burning the garbage. But that's a problem for another day. I also need to keep my city safe, and my casinos are going to attract a lot of criminals. I could wait until the crime becomes a problem, but it's usually smarter to be prepared ahead of time. Notice that the data layer is showing a green overlay on the streets that are more likely to be patrolled. Crime problems tend to occur in commercial areas, so I'll put my police station over here. There, I have all my basic services in place, and I'm generating a fair amount of money in taxes too. That was a productive day. Now that I have a solid foundation, it's time for me to start specializing in gambling. To save some time, I've jumped forward a few days. My city's a little bigger, and my population has grown. As I mentioned earlier, one of the new things you can do in SimCity is to create a big business. I'm ready to start building up my casino empire now. Casinos can generate large profits, but only if you can get enough tourists through the door. I can't immediately start building a fancy Las Vegas strip. Like everything else in SimCity, I'm going to have to earn it by starting small and then working my way up to greatness. Each casino caters to a different wealth class of tourist. These casinos cater to lower class, these to middle class, and these to upper class. I only have enough money to place this small gambling hall, but if I can make it profitable, then I'll be able to unlock bigger and more expensive casinos and attract wealthier tourists. Right now, I just need to focus on getting as many tourists into this casino as possible. The regional road will bring in some tourists, but not enough for me to guarantee a big profit. To increase the flow of tourists, I need to provide an alternative mode of transportation into this city. There are several options available to me. Since we already have rail running through the city, this is an easy decision for me to make. I'm going to go with trains. I'll place my train station here to provide tourists easy access to my gambling hall. Tourists will go to any commercial building in my city, but I want to encourage them to gamble, not spend their money on souvenirs and restaurants. Now, I need to connect my station up to the main rail line. This is similar to how I draw a road. And here comes my first trainload of tourists now. Looks like my little gambling hall is a hit. I'm already making a profit, and things are looking good. My casino city's off to a good start, but I still have a long way to go. That's one of the great things about SimCity. No matter how much you do, there's always new things to try. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and we'll take a closer look at multi-city play in the region.
All right, welcome back. So that was a look at some of the gameplay, and I know there's lots of questions around that video. So we're actually going to load up that city and answer some of your questions. I have a few folks joining me now. I have Jason Haber, one of the producers on the project. I also have George Pigula. He's going to be driving the demo. And then we also have Ian Fox from Simtropolis, who's actually gathered a lot of those questions. And Ian had a chance to stop by the studio yesterday and get a behind-the-scenes look at how we're making SimCity and talk to some of the dev members. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you, and thank you for having us here. Yeah, we did get a chance to go to the studio and see what was going on. Whirlwind tour, and I appreciate you putting up with about the 500,000 questions that we asked you.
Love answering them.
Yeah, we didn't give you any room to wiggle on those. So, and I know some of the questions that we asked are some of the same ones that the community is going to be asking. I have a list of them right here. So we asked questions in advance on Simtropolis and Facebook and SimCity.com. So we're going to ask some of those for you here. And if we have time, we're going to get to a couple of Cover It Live questions.
Coming in and being able to talk to us a day, for a day, how did that kind of change your opinion on SimCity, or really did we answer some of your questions?
Oh, we answered quite a bit. Yeah. I have to admit, I was skeptical when I came in. And my friends were too. And they get on MSN, they talk to me, and they go, I'm not so sure about this. And a lot of my skepticism has been alleviated. I'm feeling much better about this game, much, much better. So getting a little excited about that, so that's always a good thing. That, yeah, I truly was skeptical, but it's much better now. And again, that's since you were so straightforward with us, that was great.
Great. Well, let's
we really do appreciate that. Yes, so let's take a look at the questions. Our first one, and I'm going to read out these usernames. Apologies if I don't pronounce some of them right. So our first question is from GreenT95. Now that the game is finally being shown, you guys must have finalized the city size. Could you please share with us the size of the city?
Sure, I'll take that one. So yeah, we get a lot of questions about size of cities. So our cities are 2K by 2K. That's similar to what a medium-sized city was in SimCity 4. And we've really added more to do in the city level. So our simulation is deeper. There's just more building that goes on at the city level. And we've really opened the experience up. So we have multi-city and region play. So it's not just about so much focus on a single city. It's really about playing multiple cities. And actually, just why don't we go into the software a little bit and show off some of the depth of the simulation. So we'll go into the health map right now. And in SimCity 4, for example, it was a statistical simulation. So you go ahead and place a hospital down, and it had a radial effect, and it would treat your Sims. So in this SimCity, we're going to go open up our health map layer, and all the information is really easy to read. It's all infographics. So George is going to actually poke around and see, get an idea of where his 6 Sims are. We should see some brown areas that indicate 6 Sims. I think that factory over there that might be generating some sickness. Factories also generate injuries as well. So George could fix these problems by placing a medical clinic in his city. So let's go ahead and place a small medical center. George is going to place a small medical center. Find a good spot for that. And so there is some functionality that comes. It has some patients, rooms. It could treat some Sims. It has an ambulance. But every ploppable in the game now is moddable. So there's modules that you could add to it. So he could add more ambulances that increases the efficiency of his hospital. He could add patient rooms that allow more Sims to be treated. So he could really customize each of his individual buildings, and it adds new simulations. So that's a great little hospital you have there, George. And let's see if any of your Sims are actually going to start going to your hospital. We should start seeing them come out of their homes. We have 6 Sims. And this is a live simulation, so anything can happen. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. But there should be some Sims coming out. Oh, here they go. That's perfect. So they're actually going to travel, and George could actually...
Hey, it's Callie Moskowitz.
Wonder if they're related to Dan on the team. So they're going to go actually to that clinic that George just placed and be treated. So that's going to make his Sims happy. And that's just a level of the detail of the simulation.
Okay, a side note from what I just saw there is that unlike SimCity 4, if you wanted to expand your, say, hospital coverage, you had to destroy the old one and build a new one in the same place. But I see you don't always have to do that anymore.
Right, you could actually invest in each of your buildings even more. So.
Okay. You can also customize what they look like as well, so you can really sort of express yourself through your buildings, and there's no fixed place that you need to put everything. You can really sort of do whatever you want.
So completely modular, in other words.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So our next question comes from Maureen KT from Simtropolis. This person points out that there's been much emphasis in the past. I mean, SimCity has always been a single-player game, and now the emphasis is on the multiplayer capability. So, so why is there so much emphasis on this in a game that's historically been single-player?
Yeah, I'll answer that. So we really thought about this SimCity as multiplayer from the ground up. So, George, why don't you go ahead and pop to region view? So George could pull out here, and cities no longer are in a bubble, actually. He's playing in a region with other cities, and there's a lot of simulation that's going on between cities. And George could play multiple cities. He could invite friends into his region and play with others. But things like power and water are shared across cities, and they could purchase that power. They could share services like fire and education and garbage. They could also gift to one another, so money, resources that they create in their city. And they could also collaborate on great works. This is one of my favorite features is we have things like international airports that cities could work on together and build up. And the international airport will actually bring tourists into your region, allow you to ship more freight in and out. So there's just a lot more to do at this macro level of city planning.
Okay, so with multiplayer, I'm certainly going to give it a try myself. Yeah. There's a lot of players like me, and Clinton Davis on Facebook also says, my friends also. What about people who prefer to play solo?
I can take that one, Kip. For players who want to play solo, we know there's a lot of players out there that like to play by themselves. You can play an entire region solo. You can play all the cities by yourself. You can specialize in each city in different ways. And even if you're playing solo, you'll still be able to participate in our SimCity World features, which include things like leaderboards and challenges and our city log feature. So even if you're playing solo, you still get that richer experience of playing with other people.
Okay, I know a lot of people are going to be happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's really new ways to play and engage with SimCity.
Okay. So you mentioned the great works before, and our next question is actually related to that. Matab15 from SimCity.com asks if you can complete great works like the International Airport, for example, using only cities you control yourself.
Oh yeah, actually, so you can. I mean, you can play all the cities in the region, and those cities can collaborate together to create that great work. So it's really multi-city play is like how we like to think about it, in that you can play all those cities together or with others and do those great works.
Okay, here's a very simple question from Shishka at Simtropolis. That sounds simple, but that means it's just a few words. It's going to be a little tough for you, I'm sure. Terraforming, why was it cut?
Try to catch me off guard, huh?
Yeah, that's real simple.
So we actually thought about every city that you start in is a puzzle. So the landforms that you create and build your city in are actually puzzles you're trying to solve. So there's not terraforming as you might expect from that was in like SimCity 4. Actually, let's go to software here, George. And I think there's a little hill over here. And so we want players to kind of figure out how they're going to build on these different terrain formations. So here we've got a little mountain up here and a flat plateau. So George maybe that's a good spot to build a wind farm. There could be ore or oil or some sort of resource that he could set up a business on top of there. But you can see the tools that we give you, lots of creative tools to kind of mold and shape your city. And we think of the terraforming at a civil engineering scale. So the roads kind of carve into the landscape, and you're trying to figure out how to create switchbacks up and down these hills to kind of build out your city. And it's really a puzzle. I mean, you saw it firsthand.
Yes, some of the transportation options were completely wild. Yeah. We have a lot of road geeks on our website. Yes, I'm sure they're going to like it. But yeah, some of them are completely wild. And of course, being so close to San Francisco, I'm sure you guys have a lot of experience with switchbacks.
Definitely.
And that kind of thing. So yeah, those are going to look good, I'm sure. Okay, this question is already kind of indirectly answered in a way already. SimCity Geek 101 from SimCity.com says, I have a question, will there be water in the game? Because so far in the concept art, I haven't seen any oceans or rivers.
I'll take that. I love that name, SimCity Geek 101, great username. Well, as you can see, yes, there is water in the game and it looks fantastic. We're really excited about that. There's also cliffs and hills in the game, and really every city sort of has a unique terrain that you're going to work with. You can really create whatever city you want to. You could say the world's your oyster for that city, and we love saying that. And really, you can play this game however you want, and having that city and the terrain really just opens up more possibilities for that creativity.
Yeah, and I've never seen a SimCity game without water. I can't imagine how it would go any other way. Okay, I'm going to switch pages if you don't mind. Okay, so this one's a set of related questions. So people are wondering in the multiplayer, Rala from SimCity.com in particular says, will my own city suffer because of what another player does in his region? For example, pollution or crime.
Yes. So we know our fans are mischievous, and so definitely if you create a dirty industrial city that's creating lots of pollution, that pollution is going to spill out across the region and affect your neighboring cities. Also, if you choose to ignore crime, for example, those criminals could actually spill out and wreak havoc, on your neighbors. So there's some good ways that cities share, but also some evil ways too.
So you might want to make sure you're playing with people you trust sometimes.
Yes.
Of course, joining a random group could be interesting too.
Yes.
Okay, so and related to that, and this is a question of mine and that I know many other people have. What if somebody who's playing in your region just simply stops playing?
I'll take that one. Yeah, so if somebody stops playing, we want, this is asynchronous multiplay, so even if somebody goes offline for a few hours or a few days or just stops playing, that experience doesn't end for you. So that city there's a snapshot in time. If you're buying power or water, you can still continue to buy power. You have to pay for that power, so it's not necessarily an exploit. And then if somebody actually abandons their city permanently, you could take over that city, which is really a cool feature because players are going to be able to share cities that they create, and it's kind of like be able to create their own scenarios, which we think people are going to actually love.
So there's an official abandonment kind of function there,
Yes,
and then
definitely.
anybody could come in and pick it up.
That's right.
So you might want to arrange a handoff if,
Yes.
if you don't want somebody else,
Right.
some stranger getting it, right? Okay, so, and yeah. Next question's from NOS1619 from SimCity.com. Will there be subways in the game? And I personally want to know if there will be boats. That's what he said. For me personally, not just boats, but I'm also interested in ferries.
Well, yeah, Ian, I know you're a big boat fan. We saw your shirt yesterday. So
Yes.
I can tell you there will be boats in the games. We're not going to have subways, but we do have tons of transportation options. So I think we're bringing up the software for George to show you a bunch of those. We've got buses and streetcars and trains and boats and planes, and all of those are placeable within your own city. And actually, they all go really deep. There's a lot of complexity to those. So we're going to put down let's put down a bus station here and see what happens. All right, so if we put that down, not only does that give us the bus abilities for a city, but we can easily upgrade that by adding more garages. And again, each garage adds another bus to the game. And so it lets you customize what it looks like, but also adds that functionality. And now that we've upgraded the bus station, you can actually go and start placing bus stops throughout the city. And you can see here again, we're using our data layers to show where the coverage for those bus stops are. And actually, one of our designers in the studio, Guillaume, who's also active on the forums, he did a lot of research into how far people are willing to walk rather than drive, and uses that to help drive the coverage here. So he actually looked at civil engineering books to drive that, and it's 400 meters. Who would have known? But there you go. So as you can see, our transportation systems are very deep, and actually they're nested as well. So your Sims will sort of find the best way to travel. They'll take a bus to a boat if they need to, and actually those can even go up to the regional level. Maybe you want to talk about that, Kip?
Yeah. So it doesn't just stop in your city. So George could create a large bus terminal or a large rail terminal or a ferry terminal. And that nested behavior, your Sims could actually commute or be tourists in other neighboring cities. So all the simulation works back and forth between different cities. And you got to see some of the transportation firsthand yesterday. And I mean, what do you think?
I'm liking some of the options that we got. We saw the buses and everything and how those work. Streetcars and light rail were involved. And I believe that our site had a little inspiration on that one.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we were glad to hear that.
Yes.
So yeah, it looks like it's going to be fun to play with.
Great.
Okay, so I guess a burning question on everybody's mind, and also Ivan Lapis on Facebook. What's the estimated time till beta?
Beta. Everyone wants to know about beta. So we did announce, if you didn't know, we did announce a live beta. You could go to SimCity.com now and register for a chance for an invitation. But we don't have any new news today, but as soon as we do, we'll definitely keep you informed.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that too. So, okay, I think we're probably getting close to being out of time. We're going to take a live question. Jane, and I think a lot of other people feel the same way. They possibly, anyway. It looks like it might be a little simple compared to previous SimCity games.
Yeah, that can be further from the truth. Actually, let's jump into software here. And the simulation is definitely, there's depth and complexity and integrity to the simulation. So it's just expressed in really easy to understand ways. So George, if you want to open up the population layer, and we're using these data layers, these infographics. So all the stats that you know and love from SimCity, all of that's there. If you want to dig deep and know about your budget, your taxes, your population, so here's the population layer. And this is all just using infographics to display where your Sims are in your city. So this is updated in real time. We could see where every Sim is, where they're working, where they're shopping, where your students are. So you get a real just read of the city live, and it's just, you don't have to go through spreadsheets to see what's going on. And all of our systems are like this, so you can dig deep in fire and education. So there's plenty of depth in the simulation.
Okay, and some of the things that we saw, I didn't see anything simple about it when we were at the headquarters yesterday. Okay, so that's the last question we have. Okay. Jason, Kip, thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, actually, we have some announcements. So we want to thank everybody for entering the Create a Sim contest, where you can have your Sim immortalized in SimCity. And actually, we're going to announce 3 winners today, the first 3 winners. So let's see who that is. Reed Connor, you won. Look at that sim. He's good looking. Stephen Gardeau, I love that sim. She's the evil grandmother. And Mona Duncan actually had 2 sims that we're going to be using. And so these will be, you'll see these appear in SimCity. These will pop up and ask you questions. So congratulations. And we're also like to announce that the SimCity is teaming up with The Sims to create a pre-order item for Origin. So if you pre-order through Origin, you'll get this mystery item that's themed as a Sims 3 content. So if you've already pre-ordered, you've already going to get this. If you haven't pre-ordered yet, go to Origin and pre-order, and you'll get that special mystery item.
Cool. And I've got one more announcement. Today, we're announcing Disaster Week. So we're going to reveal all the cool disasters that are going to be in SimCity. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get more information. But I often get asked, hey, can I unleash disasters in my city? And the answer is yes. We know our mayors love building cities, but we know they love knocking them down too. So why don't we give you a sneak peek, George? Why don't you go let loose a meteor strike in this city and see what kind of havoc that's going to cause.
Wouldn't be SimCity without disasters.
No one.
It's really one of my favorite parts. And so excited that we get to finally share it with everybody.
And we're going to be showing more of these this week.
If you go to Facebook and Twitter, I think you can actually follow the progress of Disaster Week.
So this is just the setup. Wait for it. Nice. Well, that's all we have to show today. I want to thank everyone for checking out SimCity. I want to thank Ian Fox for coming in and asking all those tough questions.
Thanks for having us.
And we know there's more questions, so we actually have a few members of the studio that are going to be online on the forums today. Dan and Guillaume are going to be answering questions, so go to simcity.com and fire away those questions. I'm going to hand it back over to Lucy now. Thanks.
All right, I want to say thanks very much to Kip, Jason, and George for taking time out from the studio to come and show the fans everything about this latest SimCity. Also, one of the kind of amazing things is that we're almost to the 10-year anniversary of the release of SimCity 4. And Ian here and Dat, who's a little bit behind the scenes here, but who both visited the studio yesterday, the guys behind Simtropolis, have been keeping SimCity 4 alive through modding, discussion, and inspiring us, the studio team, in exactly how we might add features that can really satisfy the fan base from SimCity from all the years. So thank you guys so much for being here and sharing not only the questions from the fans, but also your own insights into how we can make SimCity the best SimCity ever. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Now, we are going to be moving, well, let me actually tell you, first of all, SimCity is going to be coming to both the PC and the Mac in February of 2013. So head over to simcity.com. You can not only check out the latest information on the game, participate in Disaster Week and hear about that, but also ask questions, because we're going to have guys who are manning the forums, both in Twitter, Facebook, and also visiting the forums in Simtropolis. So now, I'm going to hand it back over to Ryan Vaughn, who's going to tell you some more information about The Sims.
Thanks, Lucy. All right, guys, isn't that looking amazing? The SimCity. SimCity 2000 was my most favorite game growing up, and I can't wait to get my hands on this. You guys are doing awesome work. It's looking great. All right, time for some more announcements, and this one is something that I'm particularly excited about. Today, we're pleased to announce the Sims Official Magazine. This is a free, fully interactive digital magazine that's available on both iPad and Android tablets. Now, this thing comes packed full of content with tons of stuff from you guys, user stories, content you guys have created, as well as exclusive tips and tricks on all the new features and all of the new stuff out for The Sims. So make sure to stay tuned and get the latest information on its release and its announcement. It's really cool. I got my hands on it a couple days ago and couldn't believe how much content's in there, and it's all free. So stay tuned to get the info on when it's coming out. All right, we're going to move on to another announcement. And I wanted to recap a little bit. We're always in the Sim Studio trying to figure out what you guys want, and we're on the forums looking for things that you guys are requesting. And one of the best ways for us to get you these objects and items and features is through the Sims 3 online store. It's been around since 2009, and since it's launched, we've released tons of new content for not only Build Buy, but for Create a Sim, as well as releasing tons of new features as well and brand new worlds. Recently, back in August, we released The Sims 3 Sunlit Tides, a brand new world that comes with tons of relaxation for your Sims. It's set on a tropical oasis, and it comes with saunas and tons of places for your Sims to relax. Last month in September, we released the Sims Level Up collection, and this premium content came with basketball. For the first time ever, your Sims can play basketball outdoors and indoors in the arcade as well. So lots of fun stuff coming from the store, lots of fun experiences that you wouldn't necessarily get in complete expansions. So the store is a great place for you guys to get that content, and it's a great place for us to get you guys stuff quickly. So I wanted to bring up something brand new. Check this out. This is The Sims 3 Monte Vista. It's a brand new world we're working on right now, and it's something that we're really excited about because it's a whole new theme and a whole new setting for you to tell the stories of your Sims. I have Lisa Smith here, who is producer on the store team, and she's going to tell you guys a little bit more about what's going on in this world and what you can expect. Welcome, Lisa.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Ryan. So I'm very, very excited to come and share with you the wonderful world of Monte Vista today. Now, I have to warn you, this world is still in development, so this sneak peek will be quick, but I think that you'll be excited by what you see so far. So The Sims 3 Monte Vista is a beautiful, bright, sun-kissed world. You're going to be getting rolling hills and cypress trees and mountaintop views and a walled-in city that I think you're going to die for. Your Sims will be able to while their days away, strolling across the piazza, visiting museums, farming on the land, and eating at amazing food at any of the local bistros in town. Speaking of food, I think now is the perfect time to introduce you to the brand new premium content coming to Monte Vista, aptly titled The Wood-Fire Oven. So here's a short clip of a Sim interacting with the wood-fire oven. The wood-fire oven is not only a super fun way for your Sim to improve their cooking skill, it also adds a ton of new recipes to your Sim's kitchen. Now you'll be able to cook a myriad of savory dishes, including pizza, calzones, lasagnas, the works. I think you're really gonna love it. Okay, that's it from me now. Sorry to cut it short. But make sure you stay tuned to the Sims 3 store because we're going to be releasing a lot of more information and content about the Sims 3 Monte Vista in the coming months. On another note, I'm really glad that Ryan mentioned sunlit tides. If you're on Twitter, keep tweeting. Use the hashtag MaxisLB and you'll be automatically entered into a random giveaway of sunlit tides from our community team. All right, that's it for me for now. I'm going to turn it back to Ryan. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lisa. This world looks awesome, and this premium content is great. The fact that you can cook calzones and pizzas, it's my dreams come true in a Sims game. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. It's been a great time. We've covered lots of great materials from The Sims, as well as SimCity. We've gone from everything with lots of new big games, lots of new expansion packs. You saw a demo of The Sims 3 Seasons, as well as stuff pack information. And hey, guys, what's going on here? King, what are you doing?
We're following the script.
You guys must not have gotten the updated script. We cut this.
No. Wait, you sure?
Yeah, we're not supposed to announce this until next month, guys. Come on.
Okay. Back it.
Guys, well, you guys heard it here first. I guess we might as well make this announcement now that the cat's out of the bag. Today we're announcing that the Sims 3 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff is our latest stuff pack on its way. It's going to be released in January 2013. It's a big stuff pack full of all kinds of crazy, awesome, radical content from the last few decades. Now that we've made this announcement, I think I'm going to pull Sarah Holding out of the crowd. She's our lead stuff pack producer, and she's going to give you a little bit more information on 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Sarah.
Hey everyone. Well, it's really awesome to be here today, and I wasn't expecting to talk about this so soon, but I'm still happy to be presenting you with this sneak peek at the Sims 3 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff. But first, did you hear that song? How awesome was that? I'd like to point out that that song was written and performed by one of the members of our community, Julian Conroy. Earlier this year, one of our studio team members found Julian's video on YouTube and shared it with the team. We loved his rendition of the original music from The Sims, and we thought it was so awesome that we had to include it in a future game. We're always looking to our community for new ideas and inspirations, so please keep sharing your creations with us, and who knows, one day you could be featured in one of our games. Okay, let's talk about 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff. This awesome stuff pack is all about taking it back to yesteryear and styling your Sims and their worlds in the iconic looks that shaped these decades. In The Sims 3 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff, your Sims can sport a 70s disco look with a wide-collared jacket and bell-bottoms to tear up the dance floor. Or they can throw back to the 80s and get physical with a big boombox stereo. And they'll also be ready for a 90s revival with the chic grunge apparel that defined this decade. I still wear sweaters around my waist. I guess I never left the 90s behind. Okay, well, there's a lot of other awesome content in this stuff pack. There's going to be tons of new objects and hairstyles and clothing, and there's even a new facial hair. In The Sims 3 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff, you'll be ready to warp your Sims back in time. The Sims 3 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff ships in January 2013. Please keep watching our official Facebook page in the coming weeks for more information on the game. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Ryan.
That's looking awesome, huh? It's looking totally radical. The Sims 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff out this coming January. All right, so I think that is now the end of the show, barring any other crazy outbursts. But let's recap what we took a look at today. We started with a live exclusive demo of The Sims 3 Seasons, which unveiled aliens for the first time. There was abductions and there was community lot invasions. It's looking awesome. Then we revealed for the first time ever The Sims 3 Weatherstone, a brand new object that ties two expansion packs together in an all new way. Remember, you need to have both The Sims 3 Supernatural and The Sims 3 Seasons installed to access this content. Moving along, we talked about The Sims official magazine, which is coming out available on iPads and Android tablets. Then we moved on to The Sims 3 Monte Vista, a brand new world from the Sims 3 store. It comes with premium content and it's in a theme that we've never done before. It's looking awesome. Finally, with the little outburst we had there, we revealed the Sims 3 70s, 80s, 90s stuff pack, a brand new stuff pack that comes out this January. So stuff pack coming out. I don't know. I think that's probably my cue to get off the stage here. I'm going to bring Lucy back up. I think those guys belong back in university or something like that. Crazy.
Maybe they are in a little bit of the wrong place.
I guess. All kinds of unscripted stuff going on up here.
Okay,
it's
well,
fun.
It comes to a big bang at the end.
Right, exactly.
Okay, well, both Ryan and I want to thank you all for joining us today. We really make a point of doing this for you, the fans. And what we want to do is make sure that you got a lot out of this. We're hoping that you enjoyed hearing all of the news about the upcoming Sims 3 games, all of the news and the live demos from SimCity, and the Q&A. We hope we've done a good job of answering some of your questions, but that's not the end of it. We really invite you to ask us more. Please join us in the forums where the game teams themselves will be answering questions that you have for us. So without further ado, we're going to bring a close to this Maxis Live broadcast. There definitely will be more. Share with us the kind of things that you'd like to hear from us. And in the meantime, we're going to get back to work making the games the best that they can possibly be. Thanks so much for joining us.